Hey there, interwebs, and welcome back to... Actually, at time of writing, I don't yet know if this is going to be another episode of How Fascinating or one for the Assorted Fantasy playlist, but I do know what it's about. The Swordbreaker. Before I go any further, Shad's got a video about them and Todd's got a video about them, and both are linked below. I want to dissect some of the confusion surrounding their finer points. Hehe, points. First, I want you to take a guess what you think a Swordbreaker does. If you said break swords, you'd be incorrect. It should more accurately be called a sword grabber or a sword catcher. Assuming you were a right-handed swordsman, what hand would you use this blade in? Right? Wrong. Left? Right. The Swordbreaker was actually a specialized type of parrying dagger, also known as a main gauche, French literally meaning left hand. This is because you hold a sword in your right hand, so the dagger goes in your left and is used to parry incoming blows. If it's a Swordbreaker, it can also be used to grab and bind the opponent's weapon as you go in for the kill. The same can be said for the aptly named Trident dagger. The one I'm showing you right now is an exception to all of that. This probable left-hander's left-hand dagger would have actually been used in the right hand, counterintuitively. We can tell by the position of the thumb ring relative to the tines. If this were held in the left hand, which is right, the thumb ring would protect the thumb, which is wrong. You see, much like Swordbreaker, the term thumb ring is also a misnomer. It actually goes on the other side of the crossguard to protect your knuckles. Both of these misconceptions can be blamed on the Victorians and their nigh-obsessive compulsion with categorizing everything, even if they didn't actually know what something was. I'm 99% sure they're also where we got the term blood groove and that ridiculous notion that an armored knight can't get onto a horse without the use of a crane, but I'm no historiologist. Getting back to blades, if you were to hold a regular single-edged knife, you'd probably hold it with the edge of the blade pointed forwards, but that's not how you should hold a Swordbreaker. You hold those with the blade the other way around, so the tines point forward where they can grab onto your foe's sword. If you held this Swordbreaker in your left hand with the tines forward, the side ring would be on the wrong side of the quillins. Yes, I said quillins, not quillions, because I can read words and see where they do and don't have the letter I. If you held it with the side ring over your knuckles, the blade would be the wrong way around. This would imply it's instead held in the right hand, making its wielder left-handed. The other alternative is that it's a reverse-edged left-handed dagger. Now, naturally, all Swordbreakers are left-handed daggers and reverse-edged, in that they have their edge on the reverse side, but a specifically reverse-edged Swordbreaker would have its edge on the obverse, not the reverse. True reverse-edged knives were historically a thing, but when I say historically, I mean American Civil War. Confederate soldiers are recorded as carrying some frankly ludicrous-sized Bowie knives with wraparound knuckle bows called D-guards. Some of these were double-edged, and very few had their blades facing the other way. It is believed this was for stabbing into the enemy's gut and slashing upwards. There are scant few examples of these reverse-edge Bowie knives, but there's more than one, which is more than none, and that's enough for me to say the design was neither non-existent nor an aberration. What does that tell us about Swordbreakers? In broad terms, putting the edge of the blade where the spine would usually be isn't a totally useless idea. So, would a reverse-edged left-handed Swordbreaker be held in the left hand or the right, and would the edge be on the front or the back? Who can say? Thanks for watching, and have a knife day.